Yeah, what happened? There we go. Hey, what's up, Tim? Oh, time change. That's it. Yeah, Tim. Let's start there. Tim sends me a snarky text.
Guys are really late today.
No, he says, remember when you used to have a podcast? And I was all, what, dude? We recorded yesterday. The only day we missed was SEMA. Oh, I was looking at the wrong time. Jerk. I get enough people telling me I'm not good at what I do. I don't need your help.
You see all that stuff about Puig?
It doesn't surprise me.
You on drugs?
Betting on
No.
sports.
He's Pete Rose.
Well, Pete Rose bet on baseball.
Yeah, I mean, but he's betting on other sports.
I can hear you chewing in the mic, just so you know.
I'm trying to finish this up real quick. I'm hungry.
Okay. Well, now you're fine, but when you're up like you're speaking. Yeah, Tim, so we all stay at the same time now. America. I'm pretty stoked about that.
Did that go through? Is that next? So
no, that's now. We never change time again.
After this. Because
we've already done it. Like
it's always going to be fucking dark at 5?
I think it just means like summer nights we get sunsets at 7 now instead of like past 8 o'clock.
Okay. That might be doable.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit. Well, it's kind of nice like when the sun is still up past 8 o'clock, but I don't give a shit.
I hate it now when it's fucking dark at 5.
Yeah.
Dude, in Portland, it gets dark during the summer. It doesn't get dark till like 9 o'clock. Sorry, everybody, I'm eating my dinner.
Fucking granola bar or whatever the fuck that was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking my dinner tonight.
Elam is asking about...
Yeah, Tim, you are forever an hour ahead of us. And so next time Lotto comes up, I'm going to need you to kick me down with those winning Lotto numbers, and I'll be waiting in line. It's called time travel.
Elam says, can you confirm those coffee shops in Portland where you can get a double D cup of espresso? I can confirm that those exist 100%. I have not gone to one while I've been up there. But I've heard plenty of stories from the people that do live up there.
Double D cups.
They have drive-through bikini baristas. So imagine Starbucks
in
Portland and Washington. You can drive through a coffee shop, and it's just lingerie.
That does not hurt you in the morning. I'll guarantee that. I will guarantee you that. That's probably going to help me wake up. Start your day The American way, double D's.
I think some of them are pretty risque.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's permanent standard time refers to the year-round observation of standard time. Where's this? So this happened for sure?
Yes.
Are you sure? As of on March 15th, 2020, Senate passed the Sunshine Protection Act of 2021.
Can we start the show?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sunshine Protection Act?
Yes, we have to protect the sunshine. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody! It is 6:30 on Tuesday night. We are live on YouTube as we are on
6:40.
Is it really? Holy!
It's 6:40. While you ate your stupid whatever
I'm sorry,
protein bar or whatever that was.
While you sat there and watched videos of motorcycles, I was trying to get clips ready for the show.
I still helped with that.
I don't think that you did.
But it was very important. The video, the research that I was doing is very important. At least I moved on from Weather Women.
I was just gonna say, Casey? I don't know if you don't, maybe because you're not in the studio all the time. Like, it used to be that the first half hour of Matt being here prior to hitting record was just Weather Women and gymnasts on bicycles. Like, that was all his YouTube feed was all that.
And what is it now?
And now, like a month ago, he's going through this midlife thing, and now it's all motorcycles. It's
motorcycles and jet fighters. So I'm thinking, like, maybe I have low T or something, like maybe that's happened. We're actually catching it as it's
happening.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I'll tell you, there ain't nothing wrong with doing a little research on motorcycles. Checking financing.
Making sure looking at those like sport touring bikes or whatever.
Oh no,
I got them on to
naked bikes,
naked street bikes,
because I gotta feel the wind in my hair, what's left of it, and I want to.
You're gonna be wearing a helmet.
Imaginary,
please,
not in Arizona. What if I just went to Arizona? You know what, Arizona?
There's vents in
the land
helmet.
of the free, the true Americans, where you just, I don't need a fucking helmet. I'm an American.
Daylight saving
I want to spill my brains out on a minor traffic bender. If that's what I want to do, I want to fucking do it.
Damn it, I'm gonna die.
Consarn it. Yeah.
Constag blurn it. Sassafras.
And I appreciate that. And, maybe that's where I'll go to lay down, permanently on my MTO night.
No. When Casey and I had been out there a couple times on our bikes, we saw all these guys riding around with no helmets, and I firmly strapped mine onto my head because I knew I was going
Me and Chris went for a ride with no helmet just to say we did it, to see what it was like. I didn't like it.
No.
It sounded like my bike was going to fall apart. Like, you don't realize how much noise that chain makes.
Oh yeah.
When your helmet's not on, when your helmet's on. Yeah, it didn't sound good. I didn't like it.
Well, from motorcycles, let's talk about.
Let's transition.
Whoop whoop. Casey.
Casey was in the bathroom the whole time. At SEMA.
Casey was in the bathroom.
I had a bad case
at SEMA, and then last week, Perry's correct. I do need a helmet 24/7. So last week you had no power or heat or anything. Is everything back to normal?
Yeah, we were down we had to drive down the hill in the morning, just during a crazy ass storm. You know where the Arctic Circle is? Mm. It was like driving through Armageddon.
That's where Santa Claus lives, like up in the
trees,
Arctic Circle.
Trees down, rocks all over the place. Like, it was crazy. And then coming back up was even worse. And before we started up the bottom of the hill, Zen had texted us. Actually, I think we were still on the freeway. He said, no power. So it was out till right when we were going to go to bed at midnight. All of a sudden, boom, it kicked back on. But most of the mountain was out for more than 24 hours.
Tim says the Arctic Circle doesn't go anywhere near California. So there's a patch of mountains on
A section of highway.
Yeah, on the 330 freeway going up to Big
The
Bear.
18.
I'm sorry, you're right. The 18 freeway going up there. There's a patch of the mountain that is very, very white, and it year round
demographically.
Yes, socioethnically white. I'm talking about geologically. It's geologically
okay. My
white.
bad.
So it's very geologically white, and so it looks like it's got snow on it year round, and that's just referred to as you come around this bend. It's an area called the Arctic Circle. So thank you, Tim, for clarifying that we don't know. You know how lost I get. So if someone says go to the Arctic Circle, there's a good chance. So power's back on. Casey, if you haven't caught the reference, didn't have the poops all week at SEMA. He just didn't go. He just didn't.
We didn't play it up
Well, we
as
don't-
much.
We were gonna. Yeah, we really.
You don't know that I didn't have the poops here.
No,
That's true.
I just didn't have the poops at SEMA.
Yeah, we were gonna play it up like really bad about like constantly bringing you up and like having making it look like you were walking away but I felt bad that because I knew you wanted to be there but couldn't. So Casey did not get the chance to go to SEMA this year.
You know what that meant? That meant that you got your own room that I never got to look at. So this is the so now we're breaking it down for real. Like when we were checking in, Cody checks in. He does his thing, and he's like, "Okay, here's you guys' room." And then and it's like, "Oh, okay, I guess it's me and Jose." Like I didn't care. And then me and Jose checked in. We were at the link, and our room, like you look out the window, it's just like the ghetto. Like you just look at the other side of a like a quad, and then there's other people like looking at you like we're in the ghetto, Like it was like, hey man, there's really no view here. And I go, that motherfucker, I guarantee you, Cody has a room of like, you look out the window, it's like a beautiful golf course or some beautiful scenery. Like he made sure he got the nice room because contrary to last year, we were not next to each other. We didn't share like a door or anything like that. You were literally on the other side of the wing. Like, who knows? And we never stepped into your room for, I don't even know where it was.
That was by design.
Yeah. Was it beautiful? Like, did you, were there like naked women constantly
Yes. There was a
flashing you?
There was a burlesque show outside
On bicycles.
burlesque
I knew
show
it.
outside my window all week long. That's why I didn't want to go out at night. I just wanted to sit in my room.
Well, I mean, like you need an excuse to not go out at night. But that was the joke, the running joke Jose and I would talk about. Like, that son of a bitch. That's why he doesn't want to. Yeah, that's why he doesn't want to go out. There's like a free burlesque show, or there's naked women out there.
No, my room had a view of like the if you stood on one leg and tilted your head, you could see the promenade where all the shops were, but it was all obstructed. Like it wasn't like you could watch stuff walk by.
Did you get a view of like some exhaust fans and some mechanical equipment?
Plenty of equipment.
All right,
and,
good.
Yeah, it wasn't anything great. But so usually we get 2 rooms and it's 2 people per room. And since Casey didn't show up, I made the executive decision that I was getting my own room.
You did.
I'm flat out.
But it was like, there was no like, hey, should we Rochambeau or something? It was like, nah, I'm getting it. All right. And I'm fine enough. It's good enough. As long as me and Jose can get, figure out how to get some ice and cups and some rum in our room.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need you.
Which is exactly why I had my own room.
Yeah.
It was about the fact that you guys would be up drinking all night long, and I did not want to be doing that.
Exactly. We didn't want to do it with you.
I know. I'm a party pooper.
Except for when you got your mountain balls, that was strong.
I did get my mountain balls. So Casey did miss out on a good time, and I'm sure we'll have to make up for it next year when Casey goes. Matt and I were talking earlier. We listened. Both of us had listened back to our conversation with Eric Evans and
both of us
and some of the conversations we had. But from last week. But the thing that one of the parts of the conversation last week was about how we need an intern for SEMA. So I'm dead serious about that. Like coming into August of next year, I want to seriously find someone that's willing, that wants to go to SEMA, that can be a photographer, social media person, like just handle that for us, so we don't.
I told you I got a guy.
Who?
Corey.
Yeah, Corey would be a great, because he's already good at all that. We did talk about
that. That's what he does, is photography.
Yeah, we talked about having him do it.
Can he make me look good and handsome?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's taking pictures of everybody except Matt. He's like, hold on, I got to put the fisheye camera, the lens on there.
You don't want the fisheye, dude. You want the reverse fisheye.
What's the reverse? What's the reverse of a fisheye?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if that exists, but if he has it, that's a good start. It's a good start for him.
So, Casey, I don't know. Did you listen to last week's episode?
I have not had a chance to.
Oh, man. Alien Jizz Box? You didn't get to hear about that?
So
that's pretty rad.
We're not going to revisit the Alien Jizz Box.
Good, though. It was funny.
Which...
I'll listen to it.
I laughed my ass off on the way home listening to that, just because how dumb we are.
Is it Eric Evan?
Eric Evans and the
Sorry, Eric. Again, I'm going to apologize on a consecutive shows directly to you. I really apologize that I, mentioned the, getting your app to look for that specific spot in the desert was probably inappropriate.
So Casey, we did, I just looked, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 interviews in 3 days.
2 days, 2.5.
2.5. We were half a day, well, we didn't
the Harbor Freight, we got day 1.
Yeah.
Then we had other business to conduct, and then the rest were the next 2 days.
Yeah. And so we're gonna go through some of those tonight. We're gonna play the interview. I think what we'll do is we'll play the interview and then comment as necessary or talk about it afterwards. So some of the behind the scenes for those of you, the way some of this works is prior to SEMA, prior to actually going out there, there is some conversation between our show and some of these companies or their representatives, and says, yeah, hey, we're going to be at the show. We'd like to interview you, or, are you available? And we set that up and kind of say, well, sometime between 10 and 11 on Tuesday.
10 and 5.
Yeah. We'll come visit you. But there are also several of these where as we walk around with the Ectopack and the recorder, we see something and we go, oh, hey, let's go
hit
there.
That guy up.
And it may be a product that we've never seen before, or
we walk in there like all cocky, like, who wants to talk to our podcast? Hey, look at our Ectopack. And then, usually it's like, ugh.
But
so we want to talk to these guys, man. I guess that's what we're here for. And then
the good thing is
we grind them down.
They are there to do that. That's the whole point of this, is to get their product out into the world, and we take advantage of that for sure. So I mean, the total the
it's
big,
nice taking advantage of things rather than being taken advantage of. It's it's new. It's fresh.
It is new.
It's refreshing.
It is new. I feel very taken advantage of recently. And can we cross the streams with the Ectopack?
We do regularly now.
And we have to
We've got that
untangle it all the time. I think we talked about
it's messy.
It is. For me the takeaway from this year's SEMA, big picture takeaway, was that we have gotten into a really good rhythm of interviewing people on the fly, and it's one of my favorite parts of what we do. And whether it be at SEMA or at an event or whatever, like the impromptu, off the cuff, have a conversation is probably my favorite part of the show. And we do it weekly with guests, and that's fun as well.
Guests.
Yeah. And guests.
That's fun as well. But I just like,
it was like guest desks, like guests.
I don't know. Going into an event and doing an interview out in the field where people don't really have a chance to prep. It's fun. Some of the people that we interviewed, we've interviewed in the past. So we'll talk about the total number of interviews that we've done during the show, and we're going to sprinkle those out over the next couple weeks. So this week we're going to play 3 of those episodes and talk about them a little bit. And then next week for the Thanksgiving week, I'm going to be out of town. So we're not going to do a live recording on Tuesday. And then we'll take all of these interviews that we did from SEMA, clip those together and put them out next week. So that we don't miss a week like we usually do. Cause usually we miss a week on Thanksgiving. So we won't do that this time. So we talked to, in alphabetical order, the team at Expedition 1. That was someone Jose was tracking down because they make some parts for the Frontier that we wanted to see, the dual swing out and some of those other things.
Oh yeah, no, that was cool stuff.
Yeah, it was cool stuff. Harbor Freight, which was not something we had planned on doing, but we walked by.
That was impromptu.
Yes,
100%.
Saw some of the Harbor Freight stuff. And to be honest, Casey, I went there specifically because they had a giant Icon tool display, and I know you use a lot of those tools, and they had a toolbox that, shit you not, was the size of a wall. I mean, it was giant.
I saw that. I saw a post of it.
And
it reminded me.
And then that rolled into a conversation about some of the off-road and overlanding things that they're doing. You'll hear that in the episode. We talked to Hellwig, which we've talked to a couple times in the past. Mike at Hellwig is a lot of fun to talk to. Really enjoyed talking to him.
Got to hang out with Mike that week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. We talked to Max Trax out of Australia. Optima Batteries, which is the second time now at SEMA that we've interviewed.
We spoke to Bob Optima.
Cam. Super cool guy. They
Very
invited
cool.
us in their cool special trailer, and we did the interview in there. Ted Wentz at Quadratech, who is now, I think he gets the smoking jacket. He's been on our show, multiple times.
At least 3, I think.
4 times, yeah.
4 or 5. Which is crazy.
About their 50 and 50. The 50, they're cleaning up, doing a trail cleanup in all 50 states. We talked to Rhino Rack and the special guest, Craig Morgan, a country singer. And I had to apologize because I have never heard of him because I don't listen to any country. So those of you that know country music, Craig Morgan, we interview him.
Feel free to talk trash about us because I was in the same boat. They were like, do you guys want to guess who's here? Craig Morgan. You want to talk to him? Yeah, sure. Does he
Is he related to Captain Morgan?
Is he related to Captain Morgan? Because me and him were hanging out last night. His cousin. And I can't remember his name. He's like, no, man, he's like a famous country music singer. I'm like,
and he was super cool.
Can he does he 4-wheel? Oh yeah, bring him on. Cool.
Yeah,
he was very cool.
Yep, he was super cool. We interviewed the SBN, which is the SEMA Businesswoman Network. They did an all-female build, all-volunteer female build of a Bronco. So we talked to them about that. And then we interviewed a company called Smartop Platform. They're Smartop out of South America. And
South Africa.
What did I say? I said
South America.
Yeah, South Africa. You know what, dude? I'm tired.
One of those places in the
Look, I don't know.
I mean, you were half world right. It's Southern Hemisphere, so
you guys don't even know. I don't think you realize how hard I've been working lately.
Because you had to sit in some traffic lately.
I've had to commute and
work
work again
on YouTube.
And I don't think you guys have ever worked as physically hard as I have been working the last 2 months. Man, I gotta tell you, it is. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you work in the field, it is exhausting. And then you get on the freeway and you have to drive 2 hours to get home, and you're just.
Did you have to shower because you were dirty when you got home?
just mentally exhausted, and I'm over it. It's. I'm telling you, I need to win the lottery or
retire.
Man, I think so.
Well,
so you guys, I'm sorry, my brain is tired tonight from all of my physical labor and
your ailments.
And can we talk about ailments? I got to tell you.
Okay. I was gonna say finish off the interview list and
that's it. Smartop was the last one. Okay. I have more little cuts and scrapes and splinters in my hand than I
You
physically.
got boo-boos.
I do.
Boo-boos.
I have all kinds of splinters and boo-boos in my hands, and I do not like it. I do not like it one bit. No, I say.
No.
Huh.
No, well, there you
Like,
go.
that's-
Welcome back to the. Well, I can't.
That's
I
it.
actually I can't.
You can't say
I
shit.
can't welcome you back. I've
No,
been
you can't say shit.
4 solid years out, and it's glorious.
I have been out of the field for a very long time, and spending the last several weeks in the field, several months in what I would consider back in the field. There's a reason I'm out of the field. I am physically too old and too tired and too broken to do this full time. So to those of you that work with your hands on a regular basis and do physical labor, kudos to you. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. Yeah, I think I got a splinter in there too. I can't get them out. They're all small. They're worse.
If you just let it get infected and squeeze it, it'll just pop out.
That's the
had
way to go.
I had to over here,
and it's fun.
Yeah, over here on this knuckle, I couldn't find it, so I did the carve out.
There's some dirty.
So
there.
I just took the razor knife and just carved out a chunk of meat to get it out of there because it hurt so bad. I didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Once they start pussing up a little bit, like I said, you just give them a little squeeze and they pop out.
Yeah, eventually.
There's a lot of
there's
dirty.
a whole
There's
story of my life right there.
I don't know where to go. I'll
okay.
leave that to the listener. Just fill your own, make your own. It's like an adventure book, where you can choose your own adventure. Choose your own filthy story to that comment there and let it pass over and push it out.
All right. So what we're gonna do is, you guys want me to? Well, Casey hasn't heard any of these, so I can play the first interview. This one's 11 minutes. We can play this, and
that gives me time to take pee breaks and stuff. if I want to. So
and then
that's good.
We can comment on it or
yeah, I'll make a head gesture. I'll make this head gesture, and then that'll mean please pause.
I think I got that. So
Okay.
all right, we're gonna roll.
Was that clear enough?
That was totally clear enough.
Okay.
So we're gonna roll into the first conversation with Harbor Freight. Oh, it will not let me play the conversation with Harbor Freight because I'm recording in this same application with Harbor Freight.
So you need a separate source, you have to copy it to another source.
Yeah, I need to export it to a different file. So here's what we're going to do. Right here, we're going to clip in the conversation with Harbor Freight.
Okay, so we can still comment on.
Yes.
Do you want to comment now? Okay,
Yeah.
Where you place the interview, we can still make comments on what the interview as a whole and impressions, I guess.
So Matt didn't pick up on me gesturing that's exactly what we're going to do without talking about it.
No, I just vocalized it. I just
so-
vocalized it for the
So
listener.
what we're going to do is they won't know that it's playing and we're not in the playing at the same time.
Look,
yes.
as far as producer is concerned, I'm still in training, and I just feel like I need to be vocal and make sure that things are, we all understand what's happening. That's like my job at work, is to make sure everybody knows what's going on. So I was just doing the same thing here.
Okay. So
Go.
Dick. So that was the interview with Harbor Freight.
That was a fantastic
That was
interview.
fantastic
Amazing, right?
interview.
What was your favorite
I'm
part?
floored right now.
Casey, what was your favorite part of that interview?
When that one guy was talking about that one thing, that was great.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was one of the best things I've ever seen.
So,
I did see a lot of posts about that, Jack.
Yes.
The Badlands.
The Badlands.
And we're
So that's
curious about that.
That is one thing. That is one thing that they are.
I think they get some cred for, right?
Yeah.
They're jacks.
Alon Maller from Harbor Freight is the one we talked to, and their line of Badlands products over the course of the last several years has really expanded.
Yeah,
they've got a full line of off-road and overland products.
They've committed to that that product line or whatever, as far as overlanding and off-roading.
Yeah, and the talking to Alon that's what he does. He has a GX 470. He goes wheeling. He wants to get all these products. That's where a lot of this is coming from as the product man. I think let me look up what his he was a senior product marketing manager, and so he is using these products for his off-road adventures, right?
Yeah.
And it was everything from, the full winches and recovery to other tools and hijack of the big off-road jacks and recovery straps and some really cool innovation.
Like, not shackles, but yes. Exactly. Like that hardware to give you some options as far as how to attach or wherever you're trying to rig to, I guess. Very innovative. I thought it was very innovative.
And the one thing that I think everybody talked about on their post for SEMA was the Badlands Jack that's got the big rubber wheels, but they have a very cool feature, and I don't know if anybody else has this feature, where you can lock the arm that you use to jack, and now you can tilt the jack back onto its back wheels and maneuver it on two wheels. And that was super cool. I had never seen a jack do that. Casey, you jack more than I do. What?
I definitely do.
Well, actually, that's not confirmed. He has a young child, so I think you might be jacking
because
more.
He has a young child. I'm
certain. It's probably even.
It's probably certain.
Yeah. I'm excited to see one of those jacks in person. We have 3 of their shop floor jacks at the shop.
The Daytons.
They work. Was that the one there?
I have
that's like,
I think it's
the Daytona.
I'm sorry, the Daytona. The Daytona, exactly, with a 24-inch. That thing's awesome.
Work fantastic. Yeah. We have a blue one and 2 orange ones, and they work fantastic. I have some of their hand tools, the Icon wrenches. I
have an orange one, but
work perfect.
I went not long ago. I went to Harbor Freight and picked up basically a whole kit of wrenches and pliers and hammer and the whole thing as my travel kit for when I'm going up north and I need to take tools. It's all in a duffel bag, and you know what? I've used it a ton in the last couple months, and I've been totally happy.
We've installed several of those Badlands winches.
Have you really?
As well, yeah, and they seem to function perfectly fine. I've installed a lot of winches, and usually it's a much larger, more prominent brand, but if I took the badging off of one of those Badlands, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. So that it was very informative interview, and I think I was really impressed. I think Harbor Freight's really making they're pushing forward on quality, obviously with the Icon tools, and it seems like the same thing with the Badlands, because people are going to put that stuff to through the rigors. They're going to get tested, and I admire their commitment to provide a quality product.
I feel like
that is easily accessible. Harbor Freight's like everywhere.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to. I'll walk through Harbor Freight and I'll just look for shit and just go, oh shit,
I have to have that.
I'm still waiting for a brass hammer because they're always sold out. But I'm so jealous. Jose has a brass hammer.
They're making good stuff now. Like they're getting better and better and better.
Well, exactly. I think what's happened. I don't feel like they've abandoned their core, which was the value priced tools and accessories and those kinds of things. Those still exist, and I think what they're doing is growing the range of products in all aspects in the off-road accessories and in their tool line with the Icon tool sets and some of those. There's another one there. What's the other one there that is pretty not bargain price, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're just expanding the so if you want the cheapest tool you can find, go.
But there's still levels, yeah.
But you can still get a tool that is like I said, like Casey uses them all the time and puts them through their paces.
I've been going on those Icon wrenches for just about a year now.
I'll say the same thing. Like as far as my experience with Harbor Freight tools. It's like, you know what? They're right there. I bought that welder. It was like, you know what? I'm going to give this welder a shot. It was in my price point to take that risk. Like, you know what? I'm not going to use it every day. It's like, I'm still like, I don't want to say a hobbyist, but I still used it for real work. And it's worked perfectly. And same thing when I went and bought that jack, it was like, you know what? I feel good about purchasing this thing. It looks high quality to me. And Harbor Freight is right here. It's literally, there's 2 of them within a 5-minute drive from my house, 10-minute drive. And if it's not, if something happens to it or I'm not happy with it, I'm going to take it right back and know that I have never had any problems about taking anything back with Harbor Freight.
I had to take back a saw at Home Depot, and
actually the only thing I took back to Harbor Freight was a welder from like 15 years ago that my buddy loaned me, and it burned up, and I'm like, hey man, it broke, and they gave me another one.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Those Daytona jacks, it's a snap-on jack. The patent ran out, and then they copied it.
Exactly. And you know what? I before I bought it, I researched, and it's like it's bulletproof. Yeah, exactly.
Identical.
Has anybody had experience with their cordless power tools, the Bauer and Hercules lines?
Corey was about to buy one of those Hercules ones, but he said by the time he added like the 2 batteries, the charger, all that stuff, he was like at the same cost as a Milwaukee like mine.
Oh.
And we already have a bunch of batteries for the
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Says something to the right, like they're like, look, the way I would read that is they're confident in the quality level. Like this is just where we're at the same level of quality. I would say as far as I'm concerned, I've been committed to DeWalt 20 volt for the past 5 years. So everything that I buy is I just add on to that. Set.
So I had to take a skill saw of 5 1/4 inch skill or 5 1/2 inch skill saw Ryobi.
4.5.
It was 5 1/2. It's the hobbyist Ryobi one. Like I get that it, and
skill saw.
Skill saw. No.
Sorry.
And I may or may not have been using the crap out of it all week to cut things it wasn't designed to cut.
You have to change the blades frequently if you're gonna. Go on. I'm sorry.
It wasn't the blade that was the problem. It was the aluminum inserts and slat wall that were the problem.
No, you can do that. You have to change the blade frequently.
So it burned up, and I went back to Home Depot, and I had to have a conversation because it was part of a kit, and now they don't sell that one anymore, and they don't have a comparable one, and it was
Give me the better one.
So eventually I got store credit, and then upgraded to the.
You paying another $40 for the.
Not even that much for the HP version, the high performance version, so that I could continue running. It's 6 1/2 inch skill saw, and I can run it, and that's way more on par. That Ryobi HP
6 1/2 inch.
Yes, it cuts that much, and it's on par with the DeWalt or the Milwaukee skill saws. So, but I guess my point is, I was telling this. You were talking about how you've committed to DeWalt. While I'm standing there waiting for them to pull down because they had to pull it out of overstock, the Makita rep's there, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm getting a skill saw. He's like, I've got one on sale right now. I said, will it work with Ryobi batteries? Because I've already got like 6 of those, and I ain't starting all over again.
Yeah.
So I go back to Harbor Freight.
Can we go back to like the Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita? I don't know about Ryobi, but we're in like a golden age of battery powered tools right now. And I think Milwaukee's led the charge as far as the innovation and creating new tools. I'll give them credit for that. And I can't knock Milwaukee, but as far as that like right angle drill, like the ratchet wrench, the DeWalt just came out with 2, like a 12 volt and a 20 volt. I just last year I bought a ratchet wrench, like the 300 foot-pound, for taking lugs or whatever, and that thing is so fucking awesome. I've used it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. It just comes in handy. It's like anytime I need to, I don't have to take a 9-inch ratchet wrench and like a hand tool and just, this thing just does it. Like
anytime you pull that out and bust a nut off of there, you don't care how much you spent on it.
Oh no, it's like, I didn't break my knuckles right now. It's so awesome. So that's just the big impact wrench or the I'm not ratchet wrench isn't the cool
Impact gun.
Impact, yeah, exact impact wrench or whatever. Every time I've used that, it's like I'm so happy I used it, and now I'm looking at that again, that ratchet that not again it's just like it's the step down, but it's tight, and you can get it into tight situations. Like I did my calipers a couple months ago. I could have just slipped that in there without a bunch of extensions to get my big ratchet in there. And man, this it's like pretty exciting. Like what else 20 volt are they going to come out with? That
you seen me use my cordless ratchet a bunch, man.
Yeah.
Go get one. You'll be
know,
happy.
it's like $160. I'm like, how do I justify this?
It's a cordless ratchet. That's how.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but I have to. That's how I've gotten. I don't know, but I'm assuming this is how guys build their tools, at home, because that's how I build my tools now. It's not for professionally, And well, honey,
you want me to do that?
I can rebuild the patio, but I'm going to have to get a couple of tools, And I think
every time.
Yes, exactly. That's
so much,
so
much so that it is as we're recording this, it's November 15th, and Christmas light season is coming, right?
You need a new air compressor
every year. No, listen, every year when it's like that weekend, you're going to do the lights. I pull out my Bostitch T50 stapler that I've had for 2.5 decades that doesn't work for shit. But by that point, I'm not going to go buy a new one. And so I just muscle my way through it. Like to where, it like the spring is so hard that, and like,
you got to use two hands
to
pull the trigger.
Every fourth staple blows out, right? I bought a Ryobi 18 volt powered stapler.
I was going to say, I think Ryobi makes one.
Just because I am not going to do it this year.
Now you're pumped about it.
I cannot wait. It's as much as I hate that task, I cannot wait to use my new tool.
First of all, you put up those little hooks, dude. You do them one time, and then you just drape the cord across the hooks. It's like a 20-minute thing now.
That's Fontana style, dude. That shit don't fly in Eastvale.
Okay. All right, you elitist. Because you got to be out there showing off your stapler, shooting staples at neighborhood kids.
Oh. So back to Harbor Freight and the Badlands stuff. I think if you're shopping for products, it's there is stuff there that you would be interested in. If you use their stuff and you've got some feedback on it, please let us know. I'd like to hear your feedback on it. You can email thetrailchasers@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 951-394-DIRT. All right, on to the next interview. The next interview is going to be with Mike at Hellwig. And I just want to preface this. This starts off a little bit unconventional because as we walked up, we started having a conversation about fanny packs. So Mike was talking about our backpack, and I was explaining that I'm trying to get all of that to fit into a fanny pack, which just set Mike off completely because he is anti-fanny pack.
Yeah.
I was getting support.
He's sane.
I was getting support from Anna at Con Media. She was talking about how cool fanny packs are, and like
she was younger though. She doesn't remember how stupid they looked back in like the 80s early 90s.
Well, then
the problem is now that they wear them like a satchel.
Okay,
it's not
we
even
had the
be
satchel
a man.
conversation.
Be a man and put it around your waist.
Yes.
Okay.
Quit
wearing it like a satchel.
Look, we had the conversation about satchels.
Don't your pants have pockets?
And then several, but just in case you need more. And then the CEO from Hellwig, Melanie White, she came over and gave it her 2 cents, which was fanny packs are not cool. So I don't know where we landed on fanny packs, but there's an ongoing debate about whether or not they're cool with the Hellwig team.
No debate.
It's functionality.
So here is the fanny pack discussion with Hellwig.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
So we're back from that interview, and those guys. So Mike is a lot of fun. Mike is a lot of fun to talk to. their load and sway products. We've talked about before. We've met them at SEMA a couple times.
He made some brilliant points about the stupidity of fanny packs. I can't.
Oh no. But I do have some interest in some of the stuff that they're. I think we talked about it in the interview. So their Ranger is one of the ones I saw, I think in 2019, that really piqued my interest in their Ranger build piqued my interest in the truck, which is part of the reason I ended up with the Ranger.
They seem to have a solution to your current
and
issues, which I experienced on the drive out.
Yeah, on the way up to Vegas from our house, I could look in the back seat and look at Jose wobble back and forth like a bobblehead.
Exactly.
Because on freeways with the...
Before we hit the interchange, like the 215-15 interchange, I'm like, dude, this is how it is? Like, all the way... we're going to do this all the way to fucking Vegas?
My truck is wobbly. With the tent sitting as high as it does. And if that tent is going to stay up there at that level, I need to unwobble it.
I mean, I got used to it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
like,
and
I put some good music on and get my rhythm going, like back and forth.
Now that I'm a commuting schlub,
what a dork,
and I'm driving it more often, it's more noticeable. But I definitely need to do something with that, and I think that the best thing to do there, if I'm going to keep the rooftop tent at that height, that is going to be. I'm gonna have to do something with that sway and use their
and Hellwig seemed to have like the ideal
solution. Yeah, in talking to him, he knew exactly what I was talking about, and he's like, yeah, we could totally.
It's like crazy because I understand like okay with the torsion, not the torsion bar, but the sway bar and the heavier springs or whatever, and how that's gonna. But when you talk to somebody that is that knowledgeable about it. And can break it down to like, I'm dumb. Just can you break? Just do you have a chalkboard that you could do some visuals or whatever? He was that knowledgeable about it, and that gives you confidence, right? Yeah. Like, okay, this is probably the perfect product for this for my issues,
Yeah.
I mean, and I was like, dude, Mike. That's amazing that you have a solution for that Ranger problem.
Can you put it on now so I don't have to drive home?
No. I was like, Cody has a lot of other issues. I mean, he's got some like, the Achilles tendons.
I wonder if they have
their shoulder problems or whatever. Like,
no.
Does Hellwig offer other cyborg?
What if we use Hellwig sway bars attached to the fanny pack, and that would give me lateral stability?
No. Even Mike would tell you Hellwig can't do a fucking thing with your fucking with your goddamn fanny pack problem, Holmes.
Dude, it's not a problem.
It is a problem because you don't see it as one. That's it.
I don't have a fanny pack problem yet. I haven't ordered enough. But you should check out hellwigproducts.com. They have a lot for not only like load and sway stuff, but for off-roading capabilities and enhancements, sway bars, helper springs, all that stuff. So, real quick, while we're on the website, if I just look up my 2019 Ford Ranger, I'm just curious to know how many products they have for that truck. They have a ton of products for that truck. So,
fucking truck has a lot of issues.
Yes, maybe that's why.
It needs as much help as it can get.
Maybe
does it have like emblems? You can put different emblems on it, like
the emblem swap out kit.
Yeah, exactly. Just pull those Ford emblems right off. Ranger, everything. Hellwig, 150.
Are you done?
Sorry.
Are you done?
Done, I guess. I guess if you're gonna stare me down like that and make me feel uncomfortable, then I guess I'm done.
Okay. So then, thanks to Hellwig for talking to us about their products. We're going to roll right into what I think we all agreed is our favorite product of SEMA. And this is, what's wrong, Matt?
Nothing. I'm getting work. I'm actually getting work texts.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Whatever.
So we're gonna roll into what we consider to be our.
This is my favorite product, I'm assuming.
Yes, it is all of our favorite products, I think. So,
Okay.
The company's called Smartop, and they are.
This was my favorite topic.
It's
product.
Smart Top Platform USA, and it's only one T, SMARTOP Platform USA on Instagram. Please go follow them and check this thing out. It's smarttopplatform.com. They're a South African product that is just coming to the States, and literally they were like, SEMA was the first introduction of the product to the community. So here's the interview.
If you Google that, you'll go straight to a spa top. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that they're not even completely set up yet, but definitely on Instagram, you definitely want to look it up there.
Well, and if you go to smartopplatform.com,
there you go.
It's on there. So here's the interview. All right. So, as you can hear in the conversation, we are.
It's weird commenting post.
Yeah, I know. We are very excited about this product. So, over the course of the last several years, everybody on this show has had a conversation or debate or argument about tonneau cover, camper, bed rack.
Right. You want that you want to be able to put things in your bed and not get filthy dirty.
Yeah. Well,
while you wheel.
Yes, but looking at, so Casey has the tonneau cover, and
I'd be curious to see how theirs does, because mine didn't keep out any dust on the Mojave.
That's what I was going to say. The canvas style, and neither did Nicole. Nicole, at one point, I threw my stuff in the back of Nicole's truck, and it would have been better off in the bed of mine, because all the canopy does, all those canvas canopies does, is filter out the rough sand and only let the fine silt in, and it permeates everything in that truck.
Which comes in.
Yeah. So,
well, also I think it gets in from under the tailgate.
Okay.
As well as on the sides of the tailgate. I think that's where the majority of the dirt gets in.
How fast are you going backwards?
Dust is swirling.
Just kidding. So the canvas tonneau cover type, like Casey's, is just a cover. Like, you can't put anything on it. There's no, well, Casey, yours isn't canvas. It's the
trifold.
It's the trifold. You can't put anything on it. So for his rooftop tent, he built a rack that lifted the bottom of the rooftop tent over the tonneau cover enough for him to still kind of fold it back and use it, right? Then I went the opposite direction and did the bed rack all the way to the top with the rooftop tent up there, because I wanted access to the bed, but now we're fighting the wobble issue.
Yeah.
And the thing that we liked most about this Smartop is that it's a tonneau cover that is strong enough to put several hundred pounds on top of it, but then is engineered in a way where you can still, while the rooftop tent or whatever you have loaded on the cover is still attached, you can, with a finger,
with 2 fingers, lift it up and still have access to the bed. So 100%, I was super impressed with that. And essentially their track system on the top of the tonneau cover. So you're not limited to anchor points or whatever. At SEMA, they had an electric bike, and they had a toolbox, and I think
jerry cans.
Exactly. And it was oh wow, they made use of the entire surface space of the tunnel, of that cover of their platform, and then again had pull the tailgate down and lift the whole thing up, and it just like a tunnel cover, it just lifted up with ease, and you had access to the bed, and everything was sealed up. Casey, as far as the tailgate or whatever, I mean, that's going to happen regardless.
Yes.
But
one thing it does is it gets in, and then because you have the cover, it's not allowed to blow back out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So, either way, it seemed like the perfect system, because I don't want to put a rack on my truck, and I don't necessarily want to have, but that's what you got to do if you want a rooftop tent. there's no reason why you couldn't just mount this any rooftop tent or anything else that you wanted to do right to the top of this cover.
Yeah.
Nice and low. I mean,
and
it solves so many issues.
We talked about it in the interview and after we walked away. So the non-proprietary.
I told him, dude, I'll buy it right now.
Yeah. The non-proprietary.
Give me the first Nissan.
The use of non-proprietary hardware to mount things makes it so that you can. He said we want the community to make up their own solutions. Like they offer.
We came up with like 4 right on the spot.
They offer bike racks, jerry can holders, ammo box holders, Max Trax brackets, and some other custom accessories on their site today. Right, so you could immediately do that stuff. But with the way it was set up, like I'm in my head, I'm picturing the solution to the basically being able to remove the rooftop tent when you don't need it. Right now, it's my tent is on the very top.
You can't even get into your garage.
Yeah,
right?
I can't get in the garage. It took 2 of us to get the tent up there, and it's bolted through.
But is that the reason you can't get in your garage?
Fuck you, dude.
It's true.
Why you got to bring up stuff I'm sensitive about, bro? That's harsh, man. My garage is a disaster right now.
Either way, if it was mounted so low, you could just simply back into your garage, right? Because it's not above the roof line of your truck. Then you can lift it off. It'd be that much easier to do it yourself.
100%. And with the hardware situation, we talked about like
God, that commuting today just took it out of me,
dude, killing me. With the rooftop tent having universal mounting situations, I could imagine a 1.5 by 1.5 square tube underneath the bed. I mean, underneath the rooftop tent that is permanently mounted to the rooftop tent, and then you anchor that tube to the Smartop, and at the end of that tube, it's got eyelets on it, and that's where you
Unistrut.
Yeah, Unistrut, whatever. But you could
just do straight Unistrut.
You could back up to the garage, hook up the 4 eyelets, use a one of those Badlands ATV winches, crank the thing up into the air out of the way, and then drive off. And now you don't have your rooftop tent on the back, and you could get it back on by yourself.
It seemed like a universal solution to so many issues. And let's not forget that you also had that mounting action below on the underside.
Oh, that's right. Good.
So if you wanted, your Max Trax or whatever you wanted to mount permanently or not, you can mount stuff there equally as advantageous or whatever. You just having those options. And I know that the crazy thing is, you know what? The day that you get one of these, I would just like to sit back on a Saturday and watch you just mount shit above and below. It'd be like a at least an 8-hour, I could do this, I could do that.
Yeah.
And my point to I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I'm a horrible co-host. But I told him, dude, you should just give me one of these things. You should mount a cooler, right to the back corner of this thing. And it'll sell this like hotcakes. That just easy access to to your cooler. And again, the options to mount are just infinite. It was just infinite. It was like it was the perfect solution. Again, I've had so many so many decisions that I've wanted. I've committed to just sleeping in a tent because I don't want like a rack. I just don't want a rack on my truck, and I don't want to deal with it, regardless of how high and tall or whatever. But now that it's literally just as low as possible, center of weight, everything as low as you can possibly go, you can now mount things. You can mount your dirt bike to the back, and if for whatever reason that was advantageous.
Did you say what it was made of?
It's aluminum.
Like a heavy. This was not cheap. It was very robust aluminum track system. It was. I would have no problem looking at it like, yeah, I'll put my dirt bike up there if I wanted to or needed to. I would totally do that.
And his name was Theo, I'm
sorry, Theo.
The number 550 pounds is in my head.
I don't know if it was 550.
No,
I thought it was like 350, but I might be wrong.
Ratings of excess of 200 kilograms.
Yeah, right.
That's
So
How many bald eagles is that?
it's all of them.
Yes, it's all of the bald eagles you could find. 400. So 200 kilograms is 440 pounds.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, I want to say he had said 500 pounds or something like that.
That's a dirt bike and then some.
And it also depended on the truck. So I think
Is that static or dynamic?
Dynamic. And I think that the longer trucks had less load capacity, but than the shorter trucks, like the mid-sized truck with the 5.5 bed had higher load capacity. Probably
if you had a Nissan, it was like infinite. You just put
100.
You could put as many Ford Rangers
All
as you want.
It had that one symbol on it.
Infinite, the sideways 8.
How do you say infinity in kilograms? I don't know.
Infinigrams.
Exactly.
But going back to what Matt was saying is when you lifted up the cover, it had tracks on the bottom, and the one that Chris Holloway, from the owner of More Expo, his Tundra was in the booth and was displaying this. There was a Molly panel bolted on the bottom side of that. And I can imagine all kinds of accessories that you can mount to your. I think you made the point of Max Tracks. Like you could mount them on the
just
top.
leave them there, and you're just whatever. Why would you not? You just leave them in place.
Yeah, I could totally see first aid kits or fire extinguisher
stuff. It's not so heavy. You're worried about I'm driving every day or whatever. But I also don't want this shit stolen.
Yeah.
So you mount that stuff to the underneath. It's lockable, and then you just. And so if you still want to be able to take your tent off, again, you have that option because it's nice and low. You put whatever else you want on the top that's easily removable.
Yeah.
And then you're ready for your commute or whatever. That was like mind blowing to me. Like, oh my God, this is like exactly what I've been looking for, or I thought that I could use.
100%.
Yeah.
I thought about it this week because I don't know if you guys know, I'm a construction worker. And so I'm
sorry, with your Ryobi tools.
Go on. As a full-time construction worker.
And I'm not talking trash about Ryobi, but
as a full-time construction worker. So I had 4x8 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood I had to move around. Casey, I had to take the 2 boxes off of the bed rack that you made. I had to take the what's it called? The spare tire out and lay it down. And then I laid the sheets across the back of the tailgate. The tailgate was up, and I laid them on the tailgate and across the shelves. It totally worked, right? I could make it work, and I got a bunch of stuff on there, and I was actually kind of impressed with what we had created in that rack system. But with something like this, you could just lift up the thing, slide the plywood in and lay it down. Like it would have been,
or just lay it on the top of the platform.
I'm saying if my rooftop tent was still on the platform.
I see.
So right now, the bed rack.
See, I'm not even thinking of it like that. I'm just thinking if I'm going to pick up drywall, rather than shoving it in the bed, sitting on the tailgate.
Yes,
I just leave the platform in place. Stack it up.
Yeah.
Stack it up right on the top of that.
All the way up.
Strap it down.
200 kilograms. My point being, like, the bed rack, like the bed rack that Casey built is super, super functional for holding a rooftop tent and the storage boxes, but it's limited in everything else. And I knew that when we did it. Like, I made the comment, I'm committing to the overland life, right? And I'm giving up some of the work truck life. I didn't know I was going to be a construction worker for a living. So I think I think that the Smartop still gives you that overland life, but then maintains the usability of the truck in a much better way than my current bed rack does. Like
even my system has demolished my truckability.
Yeah, and your system is super close to what the Smartop system would give you because you've got your bed, your rooftop tent down low. Yeah, you just can't lift all that up. Now imagine your truck and then literally undoing 2 latches and with your finger go whoot, and the whole thing lifts up and you can get to the inside of your truck bed. In all honesty, I mean we I think for 2 days, even 3 days on the way home from SEMA, we were still talking about this product. I really feel like this is a huge game changer in the ability to overland, carry stuff, and still maintain usability of your truck without the bed, without the weight of a rooftop tent and everything else being super high, the way mine is.
Yeah, my tent's not mounted very high; it's low. If I could have mounted it lower, I probably would have. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great product. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have my rooftop tent sitting on that Smartop platform, and then I'd still have access. Like the boxes that I carry, the maxi cases, could still bolt on there, right? Or they could slide underneath and be out of the weather. I think that there's a ton of different configuration possibilities with that Smartop.
Well, it's less of a commitment to the extreme, right? I mean, I think that you are at the extreme as far as the height of your rack, and you've, like you said, you've committed to that. I don't want that at all. That's like though I would love to have a rooftop tent. That's great. But I also drive. You don't drive your truck as much as I do.
I do, dude. I don't.
Oh, stop. You did for like a couple of days, and now you're whining about it. But this seems like it's like a switchblade, or a Swiss Army knife solution to like overlanding and the everyday commuter, that somebody that drives their truck every day.
Yeah, and I'm sure that we talk about it in the interview. The top itself is removable. So
that's right. Easily removable.
Easily removed. So
yes.
So should you still want full use of your bed? So imagine that scenario. Like the rooftop tent is on it, and some jerry cans or whatever, and then you need the top gone, and you can still leave all of that stuff attached to the Smartop, unhook it from the hinge, and get two guys to carry it off the back of the bed, and now you've got
with the dirt bike on there.
Well, I would imagine the dirt bike
like
would come
Arnold
up.
Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
And some other strong guy. Sylvester's still on.
My point being,
that's the easy solution. Just call them over and say, "Hey guys, I need to pull my."
Going back to your conversation, going back to your discussion about it being a Swiss Army knife, like it even has that much more, because I don't have that. Casey built that bed rack to go in my bed, and that's it. It's that thing is there. It's either there or it's not. Like there's no in between or quick removal. So I mean, again.
Okay, we absolutely, we're 100% proponents of that product for sure.
Yeah, so everybody please go to Smartop Platform USA on Instagram, follow them, and go check out their smartopplatform.com website and tell us what you think. I am going to be following it and trying to learn more. Oh, check this out. At SEMA, they won
second place?
Runner-up for the
product of the year overlanding.
I'm trying to read it.
I read it before, and I'm just trying to,
Best new van pickup sport utility product of 2023. Runner-up is Smartop. That's, dude.
I think that's pretty much what I just said. But whatever.
But I was trying to read it, and I didn't because you were talking. So
great product.
Yeah. Super excited for those guys. I hope everything goes the way they want it to with this product. I don't see why it wouldn't, because it's pretty badass. Okay, that's it. Those are the 3 interviews we're going to talk about tonight. We have several other interviews that we are going to release next week. As our, like we had said, we're not going to be recording a live show next week, so we will record. We'll put these interviews out next week. For those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have a fantastic...
Wait a minute. I was Jehovah's Witness growing up, and I celebrated Thanksgiving. Like, who doesn't?
We have Australian listeners that don't know what Thanksgiving is.
Okay, check this out, Australia. Thanksgiving is like a 4-day weekend where you just eat a bunch and you drink a bunch.
And watch football.
You watch
and football on.
You hang out with your family. You fight with your family. You make up. But it's 4 days, so like
you go shopping at Walmart.
You start fighting again,
3:00 in the morning.
and then you make up.
You know what I did to avoid that? I don't want to hang out with my family, so we're going to New York. So Tammy Presley and I are going to New York specifically to not have to hang out with Casey and Matt for Thanksgiving.
Oh, cool. Well,
That's
but
fine.
you didn't know I was going to hang out with my side of the family, so you just you waste your money, Holmes.
No, Presley, Tammy, and I will be out of town next week, and so we'll use the rest of the interviews from SEMA to do next week's episode. And if you hear of any of these products that you're not familiar with, whether it be the ones we talked about tonight or next week, if you have experience with them or you go buy something from them or whatever, let us know. Let us know what your thoughts are. Some of these products are some of these companies are companies that have been around a while that are introducing new products, or something like this Smartop is a brand new product to the States. And I think it's, I'm hoping that it goes super well, and these guys do well.
Just make sure United States.
Yes. So
there might be another country with states. I don't know.
There might be.
Those guys.
Whatever. All right, everybody. So thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys next week.